What if you could walk into any social situation holding a clear playbook? A set of rules that tells you exactly what to do. Well, today we're diving deep into a system that tries to be exactly that. We're going to break down a specific set of rules for the cold approach, all pulled directly from the source material by Guy Gambit.
I mean, it's the classic social puzzle, right? Walking up to a group of people you don't know can feel super intimidating. What do you even say? Who do you talk to first? Well, the system we're exploring today offers a surprisingly structured, step-by-step answer to that very question.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll get the basic language of the playbook down. Then we're going to look at the two main opening moves. After that, we'll get into the specific rules for different group sizes. And finally, we'll unpack this idea of calibration that supposedly makes the whole thing actually work.
Okay, let's jump right in. The whole system is really framed like a coach's strategy session, using X's and O's to draw up the plays for social situations. The idea is to make something that feels complicated, like social dynamics, feel more like a game that you can actually analyze and understand. First things first, the players. In this system, it's super simple. The triangle, that's you. An X is a girl, and an O is a guy. That's it. Just keep those symbols in mind, because we're going to be using them to map out every scenario. All right, so now that we know who the players are, let's get into the actual plays. According to this system, pretty much every single approach starts with a choice between two basic moves. Are you going to go direct, or are you going to go indirect?
And here's the fundamental difference. An indirect approach is kind of like testing the waters. It's low pressure, you're just starting a conversation without putting your romantic interest out there right away. A direct approach, that's the opposite. It's like diving into the deep end. It's high risk, but high reward because your intention is crystal clear from the very first word.
So check this out. This is a perfect example of an indirect opener from the source material. Notice what's missing? There are no complements. It's an opinion question. It's designed to kick off a conversation about a random topic, not about the person you're actually approaching.
And then you have this, which is the complete opposite. This is totally unambiguously direct. It states clear, man-to-woman interest from the jump. The intent couldn't be more obvious. So you see, you have two very different tools for very different situations. So the big question is, how do you know which move to use? When do you go direct, and when do you go indirect? Well, this is where the playbook gets really specific. It actually lays out clear rules of engagement based entirely on the size and the gender mix of the group you're about to approach.
First up, let's take this simplest scenario, what the system calls a one set. Basically, a girl who's by herself. Here, the playbook gives you complete freedom. You can go direct, show your interest right away, or you can go indirect and build up to it. The choice is totally yours.
But, and this is a big but, the second another person joins the group, the rules change completely. For any group of 2 or more girls, the playbook says you have to use an indirect approach, only indirect. And here's the really counterintuitive part. You don't talk to the person you're interested in first, the so-called target. Instead, you engage her friend, who the system calls the obstacle. The whole idea is to win over the friend first so they don't immediately get defensive.
Okay, so what if there's a guy in the group? The rule is still indirect only, but the strategy shifts again. Here, the playbook says you always open the man first. The thinking here is all about showing social respect and not looking like a threat. By engaging the guy first, you're bypassing a potential gatekeeper, and he's way more likely to just bring you into the conversation himself.
So, to wrap that all up, here's a quick summary. If it's a one set, one girl, you have a choice, direct or indirect. But for any group, whether it's all female or a mixed group, the rule is always indirect. For a group of girls, you open the obstacle, and for a mixed group, you always open the man. It's a very clear if this then that kind of system.
Okay, so we've got the what to do, we have the plays, but the source material is super clear that the rules are really just the beginning. To actually execute these plays correctly, you need something a little more subtle, which the playbook calls the art of calibration.
So what in the world is social calibration? Well, think of it as the secret sauce that stops the rules from making you sound like a robot. It's the art of making whatever you're doing, whether it's direct or indirect, feel smooth, appropriate, and just natural for that exact moment. The goal is that nothing seems forced or weird.
Now, I know that sounds a little abstract, but the playbook actually provides a tool to make it way more concrete. To achieve that social calibration, it proposes this simple little framework that you can remember with the acronym UGES.
So what is UGES? You can think of it as a mental checklist. It stands for 4 key variables that you need to scan and analyze before you even think about making your approach. According to this system,
Getting these 4 things right is the absolute key to good calibration.
And here they are: you, the girl, the environment, and the situation. Let's quickly break down what the playbook means by each one.
First up, U is for you. This is all about self-awareness. What's your body language saying? What's your energy level? The system says your actions have to match the context. You know, if everyone is sitting down and chill, you probably shouldn't be standing over them with super high energy.
Next, G is for girl. This is just about being observant. What is she actually doing? Is she deep in a serious conversation? Is she rushing to catch a train? The source uses the pretty clear example that you probably shouldn't approach someone who is literally crying and being comforted by our friends. It's just about reading the room.
Third, we have E for environment. The physical place itself dictates the rules. An approach in a loud, high-energy nightclub is going to look and sound completely different from an approach in a quiet library, right? You have to match your energy to the venue.
And finally, S is for situation. This is about the social context of the group. Are they a bunch of close friends out celebrating a birthday, or are they maybe coworkers at a happy hour? The existing relationships inside the group totally change how you should interact with them. So here's the main point, the thing that ties it all together. According to this playbook, good social calibration isn't just one thing. It's about the constant, live interplay between you, the other person, the environment, and the social situation. Mastering the rules means absolutely nothing if you haven't mastered this analysis first.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to think about. This whole playbook presents social interaction as a kind of science, a system that can be learned with clear rules and variables. So what do you think? Is socializing a science that can be broken down and mastered like a game? Or is it purely an art form, something intuitive and spontaneous that could never be contained in a playbook?